This is Davos 7. We have George Soros putting out some warnings toward Trump and the U.S. economy. And since that's tied to all of us, I think it's worth making note of some of these comments. This is a longtime investor that says when you look at the U.S. economy, they put it on a bull run. Okay? And this is record highs that the U.S. stock market is seeing amid the longest bull market in American history. The longest in American history. We've gone back and looked at other bubbles and other patterns, like right before the Great Depression and everything else in the 20s. Well, the 20s is when all that went into motion, and here we are in the 20s, 100 years later. And we have all the talk, and everyone knows it, of our system being super inflated, the money not being backed by anything, and us going into just crazy amounts of debt that's tied to us, the taxpayers, that's being sold to places like China. It's crazy what is happening here on this world stage. But when it comes to our markets and any maybe writing on the wall that someone could see, but when you have Soros making these comments, it's kind of like he's putting his chips here. Like he already sees this coming down the pike, and it could be part of a broader plan. I say this because we already know, per all their meetings that they've had and all the leaks throughout the past decade, that there is a plan to bring down the United States. It's part of handing this whole thing off to a global structure. They made that clear. And in the end, they want 10 blocks. They want the North American Union and the currency to be called the Amero. Now maybe when you look around and see what they're doing with all this blockchain stuff, you see where this is going. And we've been warning every step of the way. So here in America, as they're setting up this little 5G, they're allowing China to go around the world and do it. How come the U.S. military never stepped up to try to stop that advancement? Just like they never stepped up and stopped them two shining star satellites from North Korea that are going over our country every day. And that's a fact, Jack. The world is a stage. The quicker you wake up to this, the quicker you start to figure things out. And I'm just listening to what old Soros is saying here because sometimes they could let slip little hints or information that could be telling. And it's no secret how super inflated the economy is. But this is his jab at him, at Trump. And really, if they keep this thing going all the way up to the election and say he even wins it, I would keep a really good eye on what happens right after the election, regardless. Anyhow, this multi-billionaire giving these warnings, he also just dropped $1 billion on some other stuff I'm going to cover on the live stream. So make sure to join us every Friday night for Underground World News Live, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm dropping multiple live streams throughout the week over on DLive. You're really missing it if you're not coming over there. Tons of information. We broke this whole coronavirus thing down over there last night. Over 1,000 people tuned in. Big streams. It's growing. And if you want to join us in the flesh to talk about these things they're censoring out here and trying to keep covered up, let me know. Join us. Knowledge Conference 2020. It's March 21st in the Northern Kentucky area. Email me for tickets, dabu7@yahoo.com.